Yes, welcome in. You're watching The Form and we've got another cracking weekend to look forward to. More Group 1 action across the Tasman and closer to home, we head to the River City for the feature. We look forward to the Manawatu breeders on the program, also heading to Ellerslie. So to take us through this action, well, myself and Bevan Sweeney, we are in studio, and Aidan Rodley, and happy birthday to you, Lethan, as they're over and across in Sydney looking towards those championships and of course the sales. So let's see what's coming up on the show today. We start with the feature out of Whanganui, the Manawatu breeders. We're also taking a look at the other open race on the program over the mile. Then we're heading to HQ where we take a look at the open 1300 metre and the 3-year-old race, our race trackers. Then we're taking a look at day one of the championships out of Randwick, concentrating in of course on the Kiwis, and our best bets to round out the show. Our feature is at Whanganui this weekend, so as I say hello to you, Bevan Sweeney. Weather and track-wise, what are we expecting?
Hello Pip, look, the weather forecasts are a little bit distorted at the present moment. Of course, we do have this river of water that we've all been hearing about heading this way, but at the present moment it's at a soft 5. Looking at a couple of different forecasts, one says there's a little bit of rain today in 5 or 6 mils on Friday. Another one says that they're going to have 30 mils on Friday. Look, they haven't had rain for a long period of time there at Whanganui, and even with maybe 10, 15 mils of rain, it's probably going to come up in the back end of that soft rain. So fingers crossed we're not on a heavy track, but looking forward to the program.
We certainly are, and our feature is race number 7, the Group 3 here. Over the 2,050 metres, where our favourite is Aljumala for Robbie Patterson at $2.60. Looking to continue on her winning way. Can she at $4.80. Nigella Lane at $5.50 along with Full for Cindy. Let's go back to Aljumala. Last time in the Group 3 Cuddle Stakes, she was really game here, Bevan, to keep on finding and hold out runners. And of course, the horse who ran third went on to win on Saturday at Te Araha, so the form's really franked.
Yeah, the form is franked out of this particular race. It was a very patient ride. He only really let it go inside the last 200 metres, and she had to be brave to win this. I think the big key factor around this horse, Leith, is that if we get any further rain, it's only going to help Aljumala because she's been very capable in tough wet tracks prior.
Yeah, certainly this season she's been at a peak performance, and obviously getting up to sort of 2,000 metres this week around Whanganui is really going to suit her as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a terrific run in the Cuddle Stakes, and obviously she ran so well in this race last year as well, beat home a couple of key rivals as well, so I think she only has to repeat that to be a big factor this weekend as well. Another horse we want to have a look at is Can She, just going back and having a look at the run for third at Trentham. We know she's got the ability as well. Leith, she was stakes placed as a 3-year-old and looks to be coming up nicely as well. Yeah,
look, and Fraser Rett's horses go really well at the Whanganui track as well, and look, even being a small field, she's drawn one from the outside, but she should get a nice run, and you think Full for Cindy would probably be the natural leader, run at good tempo as well.
Kenshi's very, very talented, and 2,000 metres is probably going to suit. Any rain wouldn't be against Kenshi, so it's an interesting race for a couple of factors. Royal Flower was enormous at Hara the other day with a 3-wide trip going from 12 to the 2,100 metres. Valda Zoldo comes into this race going from the 16 to the 2,050, so there's some really interesting factors around this particular race. But look, I've been with Aljumala throughout the season, so I'm going to stick with the ship here and go with the Robbie Patterson trained runner again. Look, she's out of Z, out of an L8 bar mare, so you'd imagine that the step up and trip won't be hurting her one iota. And any rain around should see her being very, very tough to beat again on Saturday.
Yeah, look, obviously Aljumala is going to be awfully hard to beat from 2,000 metres, but I think Valda Soto, she's building, she'll be super fit, 2 runs into the race, and 2,000 metres, barrier 2 is going to be very hard to beat.
I thought it was a really even race. In the end, I've settled on Aljumala, just like what we saw in the Cuddle Stakes. The horse I think is not out of this as well as Nigella Lane, and she'll appreciate the wet conditions as well. So for me, Aljumala though.
That's what the guys are liking in our feature out of the River City. Now let's take a look at the other feature on the day, and it is race number 4, the Whanganui Taranaki Racehorse Owners Association, the Open over the mile, where Kafifa's favourite at $2.80 from Islington Lass at $4.40, and then LJ and Rusty Lane around that $6 quote. Form reference we want to take you back to first is Islington Lass. The last time she finished a close-up 5th in the Trentham Stakes here, and of course prior to that, Sween, she was very good in the Manawatu Cup.
Yeah, this is a race where you pick up Whanganui as the winner. Now, Whanganui came out on Saturday and ran the quickest sectional of the day after being held up to the last 200 metres. So the form's great. She is an exciting talent. She is basically fresh up with a young apprentice on, getting her down to the 55.5, which should make her very, very competitive. She's top line here, lethal, Islington Lass, but Kopu is a good horse as well, Carfrey. He's a doozy. So she doesn't have it all her own way here.
No, she doesn't. Like you said, she gets down to that nice weight of 55.5 kilos. Obviously, she's had a bit of a let up after that last run at Matamata, which is a little bit unlucky on a sort of slow tempo. There might be the Travis Stakes, might be Ellen's main aim as well, would it be? Or?
I think so, but we know she's got class.
Yeah.
So you can, and obviously it's good to take the weight off her back. She's quite capable. She
She never goes bad race, does she?
Absolutely not. So the others, like we're talking about, Carfrey, we'll take you back to the win back at Whanganui back on the 25th of January. It's a fair way back, and Rusty Lane does run a distant second and comes in half a kilogram worse than Carfrey from this race, but. Geez, I thought Rusty Lane was terrific last time out. Carfrey's obviously got the ability as well, though, Lee.
Yes, she has, and Lily Sullivan's on cuff here. So, look, Ralph Mammons got 2 good live chances at Whanganui on Saturday, and the way that she's going, she's got to be a top 3 chance.
If this was a big field and Rusty Lane wasn't here, who was generally an on-speed runner from inside draw, I think Carfrey would be a lot more close to Islington Lass in this particular market because Carfrey is flying. Lily had the experience aboard this horse last time. She led up and she dominated a race at Whanganui, albeit a couple of days at Whanganui have very much been on speed. I think with a little bit more rain around, they might be able to make up a little bit more ground. But I'm going to stick with Islington Lass. I think she's a very, very strong talent going forward into this preparation, more handled by Ellen, and a big opportunity for Seema. Look, we haven't spoken about Kapua, of course, gets with 59.5, which is a little bit less than previous starts. But yeah, I'll stick with Islington Lass. What about you, Leith?
Yeah, I'm off Islington Lass as well. Like being a small field, Simmer shouldn't get into too many troubles. 55.5 kilos down. She's a really class horse of this race.
Yeah, absolutely respect her for sure. I just thought this was a really even race and open. So I was taken by what I saw from Rusty Lane last time out. So I was going to settle that way, Pip.
Okay, and that's a look at Whanganui. Make sure you catch all the build-up on your big Saturday from 11:30 a.m. We're also racing at Ellerslie this weekend, so for a change, Bevan, we're going to head to you for weather and track conditions. Clearly, is a heavy rain watch the next couple of days, so what can we expect on Saturday?
A little bit unsure, Pip, as I am at Whanganui. Look, the track will be tested out if all the Met Service is saying to us is going to actually happen across the next 24 hours or so. Heavy rain watch in for the period between 10 p.m. Thursday and sort of 2 p.m. Friday. So they're going to get a fair bit of rain, but as we know, that track now drains superbly. So probably in that soft range just on what we've gone on previous, even with a lot of rain around.
Okay, well, the first race we want to have a look at is race number 7 on the program. This is the Aldston Park Handicap over the 1,300 metres for the open handicaps, and Merchant Queen is your $5 favourite in an open field. You say Dorsey at $6.50, Grangalo at $7, and then Pericles at $7s as well. We're going to take you back firstly to the Fulton Family Stakes listed here 2 starts ago when Merchant Queen was very game behind Alvencedor, and she gets in really nicely at the weights again. Sweetens.
Yeah, she gets in with that 54. Of course, with Sacred Satano in the race, rated 100. With the 54, she can be very, very dangerous off a full position. I didn't mind her run behind Provence, in fact, at Ellerslie recently in the weight for age, but this was a decent effort behind our Vencedor, and the previous one in 75 grade was good. I think the weight's the real key here, Leith, that she might just get away with an easy section and be off and gone.
Yeah, certainly. The back to the 1,300 metres is really going to suit her as well. Barrier 3, 54 kilos. And like you said, the weight for age race was really good last start, where she's beaten like 3.48 lengths. So I think the key to her is getting back to that sprinting distance.
Yeah, absolutely. She's the likely speed in the race. Obviously, she's dropping back from Group 1 company last time out in the New Zealand Thoroughbred Breeders, but the prior form, obviously, top-notch. She's a really fast mare, and obviously with good ability as well. Other horse I want to have a look at here is Grangalo, the win at Tauranga on a soft 5 track this day, pretty good. We see Powell run into 4th on this occasion, but there's a lot to like about Grangalo, Leith. There's real ability here.
Yeah, it's a really nice ride by George Rook as well. He saved all the ground on the inside, and there was a little bit of a fast strip as well. She gets to a distance of 1,300 metres. She's won at Ellerslie before as well, so she's another one at the weight. She's going to be awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, Green Gullo is nicely suited on Saturday for mine, especially with that little bit of rain around being by Bilardo, and the horse is holding a great record now with 5 wins from 12 starts and always had a decent sort of reputation out of the kennels or barn for these Scullivan and Scott team.
Yeah, and there's a barn that is certainly flying. But what about Sacred Satona? We'll hear from some connections, and we'll start with Grant Cooksley first, and BP for a change to ask him how he is tracking.
He's done well, he's raced well right through the season. He's got his normal draw out again, so it's not going to help him, but no, he should go well.
Look, she's gone the right way too. She's, as an older mare now, she's taken a bit of racing to get fit, and now she's up to that real, high levels of fitness. And she gets around Ellerslie well. The 1,300 metres, just out a little further in distance, but she's won over the 14. The rain coming's going to aid her too. She enjoys a good bit of give in the ground, and she's drawn a mid-gate, so she's going to need a little bit of luck from there. But yeah, quite a step up in class. This is a pretty strong open 13. So look, she'd need a fair bit going away, but the mare's talented, and she's going to certainly make a presence felt.
Really excited to get him back out. Love this horse. I think he's got a lot of ability, and he's still got a lot more to come. So just had a little bit of a hiccup with him, nothing major, but probably a little bit short for him at the 13, but he's very fresh and he worked really well on Tuesday.
I'm going to stick with Grand Gallo. I know Scotty says it's a step up, but I feel as though there's a little bit of confidence just in behind the scenes. A little bit of rain will help as well. So horse with a decent horse's record into its second up in open handicap. I think it'll be very competitive, Grand Gallo.
Yeah, I'm with the Stephen Marsh trained Merchant Queen. I think the step back to 1,300, she's got a great draw, and the Marsh stable just on fire at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely, really hard to beat. I've gone with Sacred Satona. I just like the fact that they're taking some weight relief off a horse who's placed in a Telegraph, placed in a King's Plate in recent times as well. So yeah, that's the way I was going, Pip, without any great deal of confidence.
Okay, so everybody's split in the 7th on the program. That gets underway at 3:45 as we jump back to race 5 now. This is the 3-year-old race here over the 1,500 metres, sponsored by Barfoot and Thompson, and our favourite Penman, $3.40 into $3.20. Dramatic Miss at $5, and Bourbon Proof, who has been a mover as well on that third line of betting, also now at $5. Let's go back to Penman. Of course, he came out of the NZB Kiwi here, and he lost a plate as well in the running swing, so pretty good effort. Prior form was very good.
Oh, absolutely. And this horse didn't lose any admirers with the performance in behind Demise Road. This is a horse who's got a lot of upside. This is a good effort at Ellerslie after being held up in the home straight. I'm going to come to you, Leith. I thought they gave you an over here at $3.40, and I don't see it starting anywhere near $3 come race start time.
Yeah, obviously the set weight and penalties he gets in with 58.5, but the key to him, he gets a barrier draw, barrier 4. He was massive in the Kiwi. He got knocked over down the straight as well. So look, he's fit and ready to run this week, and he loves Ellerslie too.
And he'd run so well prior to the Kiwi too. Those wins, like the one we've just seen, fantastic. He's just a horse who's got real ability. But boy, doesn't Stephen Marsh have a hand in this race? I thought he had 4 bona fide contenders in here. We'll go and have a look at Dramatic Miss's run in the Group 2 Wellington Guineas last time out. I thought this was a huge effort from her. I think probably she just got the right sort of race shape to suit. We'll see Sexy and I Mow It further back, and Wingman, who's also been accepted for Whanganui. But I thought this run very good from Dramatic Miss.
Yeah, she was tough. Obviously she had the long float home from Wellington. She's got to back up. Just the one thing I don't like about her this week, she's drawn barrier 11.
Yeah, I don't see her form anywhere near in the ballpark of Penman. So I'm still leaning massively towards Penman, and he will be my top selection. I just think he brings outstanding form to the race from a great draw. If he gets a clear crack at them under Matt Cartwright, I think he's very tough to beat. If there was some value, I think Torek Mac 2 down on the 54 could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I thought if there was going to be a blowout, maybe Altari, his run at Tauranga 2 weeks ago was really good, where he sort of missed a kick and he was hitting the line late. But it all points to Penman. From barrier 4, Matt should be able to get a nice trip just behind the leaders, and he just loves Ellerslie, that horse as well.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard to beat. The other one I'd want to use thrown out there is Bourbon Proof. Ran second to Doctor of Love, who goes around in a derby this weekend, beat home Willie Do It a couple of starts back, drops back to 1,500 metres, not out of this. But I'm going to go for Dramatic Miss. I'm just going to challenge you a little bit there, Bevan. I thought the Wellington Guineas run had real merit, and I thought was a bona fide contender here and a good challenger to Penman.
Well, if you want to see who does take out the race, make sure you're tuning in to your big Saturday at 2:33. The first of the features from Ellerslie gets underway. Time for our race trackers, and since it's your birthday, Leith, we better start with you first. Who are you liking?
Yeah, thanks, Pip. Look, I think Lantern Way, the riding was on the wall last start at Wellington, and they didn't go overly hard in the race. He got back on a slow tempo, and it wasn't until the last sort of 100 metres you just take his run past the winning post. He was just really hitting the line late. Look, he's running next Saturday at Wellington in a rating 75, 1,400 metres, and look, he's been out of form for a while, but I think he's close to getting a win again.
Yeah, the stable's starting to fire too, and he paraded in great order last week as well. Are you 30 today, is it the round about?
37. Close.
There you go. I'm going to take you to Trentham as well. I was really taken from what we saw of Desert Mystic this run for fourth in a race that really did favour those closer to the speed. The section was outstanding from Desert Mystic, and I was really taken by what I saw from this source, prepared by Wexford. Looks to be a next up winner for mine, guys.
Yeah, the presence in the mail, Lethal. I'm going to the same race, and you'll see Who Knows Him behind him in the green and white sleeves. It was charging through the line post this. It had a good sweep prior to getting into the parade ring, sweated up post that. Look, this also won a decent race, and it might just even sneak in to a Hawke's Bay Cup next week on the minimum.
I'm not going for a horse that was unlucky. I was just great to see this 3-year-old filly now back to her absolute best, and Velocious winning at Te Araha. Very good too towards the line. Great sectionals over the shorter trip of 1,150 metres. She's heading to the Cambridge Breeders off the back of this, and I think she's a real follow. Great to see her back. Velocious. So that's what we are liking for our race trackers, and make sure you note these ones down. Lantern Way, Desert Mystic, Who Knows, and Velocious. It is day one of the championships out of Randwick on Saturday, and of course we do have Aidan and Leith on the ground there in Sydney. How's the weather looking?
It's actually pretty good. We did see Rosehill produce a heavy 10 on Saturday, a heavy 8 on Tuesday, so improving. This track has already improved at Randwick as well, from a heavy 8 to a soft 7, and I think with a couple of really nice fine days that this will really come back.
I think it's going to be a perfect track for most runners. Nice and fine today, and it's good to be here on Australian Derby Day.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at the market. Race number 9 for the ATC Australian Derby, where favourite is the Kiwi, Willie Do It. $4.60 now into $3.70 in our market. If he can pull this off, the only horse to do it in a century has been Mongolian Khan to do the double, and the other one's Bone Crusher. So Sweens, as we go back and have a look at the Derby, based on this, do you think he can do it?
Well, every time I watch this replay, I have a chuckle. He was pretty much written off by quite a few people in the prior start. He's chewing on the bit, and he was overs. He was done and dusted. He should be in the paddock, and he produced this, and he blew them away on this occasion. It was a good ride, but look, they were pretty much chasing a memory once he got to the front, and he actually ran strongly through the line, Leith, and it was a very, very good effort from a horse who we've always known as really smart.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. I was one of those doubters, and I was proved truly wrong. He was way too good. It was a good ride by Mick D. He was positive. Obviously, the key this week is the barrier 10, and I'm happy for your sake that it's not raining, because I think he's just a true firm track horse as well.
Yeah, we got out to Bong Bong yesterday to Kieran Ma's stable, where the Clockworthies have Willie Do It. Boy, he looks good. He looks absolutely. He's come on. He's thrived, and a bit of the sun, which has come out this week, has been really good for him. Isn't it great to see the first 4 from the New Zealand Derby coming over here and tackling this race? Trent's horse, the Doctor of Love, boy, not out of
He's
this.
a forgotten horse,
Yeah,
isn't he? He was
absolutely.
super in New Zealand Derby, and that was some ride by Daniel Moore as well. He was from the wide gate. He got into a great position, and he's got to be a top 4 chance this week as well.
Yeah, he's lowered Willie Do It's colours. Golden Century 3rd and Mustang Morgan 4th. And talking Golden Century, did go around on Tuesday in the Group 2 Tulloch Stakes. We'll see him there just getting back and running. He just got into a little bit of a tricky position, and he'd over-raced. A horse obviously pocketing wins this Leith, but I thought Firm Agreement back on the inside under Tyler Schiller in the red colours, hitting the line really strongly for a close second was a terrific run. First of all, what did you make of Golden Century?
Yeah, look, he was really green in the run. The hardest thing for these horses, they were supposed to race on Saturday, so they weren't using it as a barrier trial, but it's tough going 2,400 metres. So look, Nash, he's got to know Golden Century. The horse has got a few tricks, as we can see in the straight. Then he was running in and out. I think he gets back to a track like Randwick will really suit him over 2,400.
He'll be sharper for sure.
He'll be sharper, and there's a little bit left in the tank as well.
Just a little surprised how sort of short in the market against a couple of those runners that come out of the New Zealand Derby that perform with some pretty strong sort of credit are against Will He Do It, but I've got no doubt that Will He Do It is the one that the whole country will be on, and just like the Oaks win and like Lucy, just great to champion horses that come out and keep kicking goals out of this particular country. So I'll definitely be cheering for Will He Do It, boys.
Yeah, obviously the Chris Waller trained filly Eliana is going to be hard to beat. It hasn't been since Shamrocker that won the Derby, and I think it was 2009. So it's a little bit against her, but she's in career best form. But I'm with Will He Do It. I'll be on track with you, Rod, and I'll be shouting, cheering him home.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone came over to me, one of the media guys out of Sydney, and tapped me on the shoulder after Eliana drew barrier 1 and said, there's the winner of the Derby. I'm saying, well, hopefully not. Hopefully Willie can do it. After seeing him yesterday, and I like barrier 10 for you too, like comes into 8 after those emergencies come out. So fingers crossed that he can get it done. Love to see the New Zealand Derby winner fly the flag over an Australian Derby, and hopefully for Willie and connections he can do it.
You'll shout Saturday night.
I sure will be.
And Aidan as well, yes, with that little share. So good luck to everyone in the Derby. If it can't be Willie Do It, then hopefully another Kiwi in the race. Let's move on now to race number 7. This is the TJ Smith Stakes, featuring Jolly Star, of course, for Brendan and Joe Lindsay at $4. And plenty of Kiwi breeds in there too, including Jimmy Star at $9. Let's take you back to Jolly Star at the trials. Of course, she comes off the back of a Group 1 win last time. What did you make of the fresh up trial?
Awesome. I just want to go back a step. Aidan shouting, I've known him 20 years, probably longer. It is not going to happen. And the other thing is he only lasts 3 cans and he's nightmarish, so you don't actually get your shouter from your 4-person round. But yeah, Jolly Star's a little bit of a freak, and the fresh up effort was absolutely stunning. She's a major player, but this is a really cool race, Leith.
Yeah, look, it's a little bit of form in the race. We've got the old ex-New Zealander, Jimmy Star, and he's absolutely flying at the moment. But yeah, Jolly Star, she was massive down the straight there at Flemington, and Damien Lane was his first ride on her, and he retains the mount this week. Obviously, James McDonald in Dubai for the Dubai Cup.
Yeah, improving track conditions. I spoke to Brendan Lindsay yesterday. They're highly likely to run, and obviously he's here for the sales. I think they've got 6 in the draft. They're looking all right.
Yeah, they're looking great actually.
Okay.
He's going to be a really strong sale for them.
Yeah, she's high class. We'd love to see her go really well. The trial will obviously have her ready to fire. I just really liked Overpass in this. I know that the extra distance maybe not ideal, but first up record's terrific. If there is any juice in the track, no problems, and 2 very good trials leading in. I thought it was a terrific race, but I was just leaning the way of Overpass.
Yeah, I'm off Jolly Star.
Yeah.
She's got a perfect draw. Like I said, Damien Lane's only had the 1 ride on her. He knows her now, and if the track keeps drying out, she'll be awfully hard to beat.
Yeah, I found it hard to go against you, but I thought, well, Leith's going to take one of the Kiwis, so I'll go the other. Moonee Valley didn't suit Jimmy, did it? The other day, just never really got into it, but the last bit of his work was really, really good. I think he's much more suited in a race like this, and if he can show that turn the foot he showed fresh up this preparation, he's pretty dangerous here, Pip.
Yeah, agree. He really got off them, didn't he? But he finished off that race well. That's what the guys are liking in the TJ Smith. Now let's move to the last race on the day, and hopefully the Kiwi can fly the flag here too. Stephen Marsh has Love Powerman, Jason Collett to do the riding. On the drift though, $9.50 out to $11 with your favourite Clean Energy at $2.60 in the PJ Bell Stakes. Speaking of Love Poem though, let's take you back to her winning at Tauranga. She went to war with her stablemate here, I'm All In, but she was very good, Sweens. How do you think this type of form will stack up on Saturday?
Look, I actually don't know. I think she's a horse who will pick up a nice race in Australia, in the colours that travel with a lot of success across into Australia. So there's got to be a lot of respect around Love Poem. Whether she can win fresh up in Australia. I'm not 100% sure, Leith, in a field that does have a little bit of depth to it.
Yeah, it certainly does. I think they picked the right race, though. I think being a Group 3, it lacks a little bit of strength.
Yeah.
She's got the perfect draw. I talked to Stephen Marsh. He's rapped how she travelled over, and from barrier 2, she's going to get all chances.
Takes us back into Sophia Rosa days, doesn't it? Bringing a filly over in these colours to win a big race in Sydney. So I hope that they go really well. She's coming in great form. She's coming at the right time. And like you say, horse at the top, Clean Energy, looks like a really nice horse, but I think it's a race that does lack, real depth to it, and she can get a group placing here.
Yeah, obviously, she raced in the 1,000 Guineas, and like Alabama Lass, she was only a couple of lengths behind her, and we saw Alabama Lass come out and beat them up pretty good at the last week at Flemington. So she's great each way, Chance.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to go with one we haven't spoken about in Lilac for Annabelle Neesham and Rob Archibald. Now, this horse is coming off a good performance in a Group 1 last time. It was a decent effort in the Group 2 prior to that. The most recent one behind Lady Shenandoah. I think this horse is building to something really nice. Craig Williams aboard from a decent sort of gate at around about $4.80. So I'm with Lilac in the race.
Yeah, I'd certainly be having a little bit on Love Poem each way. Maybe Quinella with the Clean Energy, the favourite. I thought she was probably one they all have to beat. She's only had the 4 runs, 3 wins and an unlucky third, so she'll be ready to win in the year-long colours this week.
Yeah, that's the way it's going as well. The last out win in that Typhoon Tracy at Group 3 was terrific. She looks to have real upside, and obviously the benchmark horse in the race for mine, the one that Love Poem has to be.
And all of the championships gets underway at Randwick on Saturday, the first race at 2:25 on your big Saturday.
Boanna and closer into Talk and Talk. Big Time Proof is looking to lift Smoke and Ivan up the centre, followed back then by Big Time Martin and Blackcurrant. Boanna is fired to the lead. Smoke and Ivan's coming with Blackcurrant down the outside. Boanna will see it through from Blackcurrant.
Words on the outside, Mediator, Roy Kent, Words, Mediator's coming strongly, Words in front, Mediator, photo, very, very tight. Dead heat in the last between Mediator and Words.
Kiwi Skyhawk at the 150, going with him way out west. Jones Joker, pretty time. Kiwi Skyhawk way out west, pretty time. Fighting on Protester Lake. Dubai's Portakey ran late home, but the favourites won it. Kiwi Skyhawks won it.
The SP Belle Noir in behind them, battling away also. Next was Faultless. It's the SP in front, coming back at it, Belle Noir the inside, but the SP is going to be too good. The SP won it. Nice win.
Fill up on the form last weekend, so let's hope we can continue on this roll. We'll start with the birthday boy as always. Leith, what are you liking this week as your best?
Yeah, I'm going to take you to Randwick, the Doncaster Handicap Group 1, the super safe side linebacker. Look, he's in the race with 49 kilos. Yeah. With the emergencies coming out, he's going to start with a beautiful gate 11 and Zach Lloyd on. I think he's going to be overs. You might get that sort of $10, $3 a place on the World Pools. He's my best bet this week.
He was so good in that Randwick Guineas too, wasn't he? And what a race that looks to be on what is a super day's racing. Got fingers crossed that Willie can do in the Derby. But for mine, the best, I'm going to wait to the last of the program. We've spoken about Clean Energy and Love Poem's race. Just really like what we've seen of this horse. 3 from 4, really good in Group 3 company last time out. Should measure up really nicely in the last at Randwick on Saturday.
I'm being pretty consistent here and going with Al Jumala in the feature at Whanganui, especially if the rain comes. I think Al Jumala gets into this race perfectly in purple form and should be too tough in the feature at the River City.
And I'm playing in Randwick as well in the Group 1 English Sires with Wotan here for Chris Waller. I thought was really impressive in the Golden Slipper. Unlucky at the best closing sectionals. I think Randwick will suit better and stepping up to the 1400 metres. And this week gets Ryan Moore in the saddle as well. Here is a summary of our best bets. Rosso got his home last week and he's with Rocket Rapper to do the same this weekend on Friday. The Wales with Queen Tyron, Bevan with Al Jumala, I'm with Wotan, Leith with Linebacker and Aidan to round us out with Clean Energy in the last out of Randwick. And that does complete the show. What a weekend we've got to look forward to. Thanks to Aidan and Leith. Enjoy Sydney. I look forward to your coverage, Aidan, throughout the week. And of course, Bevan, as always, thanks very much. Go the Kiwis this weekend. Cannot wait for the action.